Hi, McCartney fans, and welcome to episode 110 of Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast. We are a Paul McCartney talk show mainly dealing with the solo career of Paul McCartney. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Tom Hunyadi, and you may know me from my other show, Talk More Talk. But I'm always joined by my one and only, my friend, my pal, my backwards traveler, Andy Nichols. Andy, what's going on, my friend?
Oh, just the day before Thanksgiving and
Yes.
hanging in there, and episode 110, and Two Legs takes a new spin with it for a new episode here today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we get into our show today, we're going to be talking about Bruce McMouse, which you have a little poster right there to show here, and
Yeah,
yeah, right there. There it is. Very cool.
thank you
Well,
very much. Thank you very much, Mitch Axelrod, for this.
Mitch Axelrod, who had a few copies left, and we both grabbed a copy. So that was really cool. So, but anyways, before we get into that, we'll just briefly talk about the McCartney 3 news lately. If you haven't watched our live videos from the last couple days, which we've been doing live stuff now. We've been doing a new series called Rank the Tracks, which we did we did McCartney, we did Ram. So we're going to continue doing that. So check out our YouTube channel and please subscribe to that so you can get notified when we post new videos and we are live, because we are doing those ranking the tracks live. That's right, we're doing those live. So we've had a lot of fun doing those. We've had a lot of people join us and making their comments, and we've really had a good time doing it. So if you can, please join us live and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified. Before that, or after that, now we're going to talk about McCartney 3 real quick, because we're getting another vinyl. We're getting the orange vinyl now from You Discover. That's 11 different variations now of
Yep.
vinyl, perhaps. And then now we know we also can get different configurations of these secret demo versions of the McCartney 3 that you can find on mccartney.com. You can get the dice. I'm definitely getting dice. I don't care how many, how much. I'm 11 copies of McCartney 3 deep right now. So why stop? Let's just keep
You're
going.
11. You're 11. I think I'm 8.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going. But however, now we're finding out that you can also get a Japanese version, which will have 4 extra
Four
tracks as
four extra
well.
tracks. We don't know if they're demos yet. We
Right.
suspect that they're demos. If somebody can maybe tell us if they are, I
Right.
want to think that they are, unless they're 4 different tracks. But we'll see. That was on. I believe that was a limited run of 3,000 too, which is now sold out.
Right. Sold out. So if you didn't get a chance to get it, you are SOL. You're going to be paying big bucks on eBay now. But, to be honest with you, though, Andy, I think I don't care about all the different variations. I mean, that's to
No.
be expected. I think I'm more irritated by the fact that we're not seeing the set list. We're not seeing what's actually on, these CDs, to make sure
What
that
do you
if,
mean? What do you mean?
because if we don't know if
Oh, you're talking
these
about
4 tracks on the Japanese version are going to be the same 4
right, in
tracks
terms of
that are
the secret
on those
demos that
secret
are on.
demos. Correct.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Chance take chance you
yeah.
take. I know that, but I mean, it would be nice for people to know.
That's why they're called secret
That's
demos.
right. That's right.
Wouldn't be a
Yeah.
secret,
What are you gonna
if he
do?
told you.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But anyways, I mean, whatever. It would be nice. But we know there's a cassette out coming. I even saw a picture somewhere where we're getting the songbook that's coming with the CD as well.
Right.
So,
So a
you know,
songbook as well too.
right. And I
Un-
don't know if songbooks ever came with CDs before.
I don't know. I don't think they have. Right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I
as a
mean,
bundle, I
yeah,
don't think so.
yeah. So it's not. So, and I think that looks like that's only available in the UK right now, from what I saw. So I think that
Looks
was
like
on
it.
Twitter.
And then another video trailer dropped today, the day that we're
Yes,
recording this.
yes,
Video
and
trailer
we
number
heard
2. We heard
"Kiss of Venus." Kiss.
of the Kiss of Venus track.
Yeah, and that was really good. I liked it. I mean, it's told the story of the McCartney trilogy for the most part. As of right now, it's a trilogy. We don't know if there'll ever be a McCartney 4, but
You
you know,
never know.
you never know. You never know. So, but that's an update on all of the McCartney 3
News.
happenings going on. It's nonstop. I'm super excited. it gets pushed back to the 18th, but my excitement is still high because we got to listen to 2 tracks, um, Find My Way and Winter Bird slash When Winter Comes. So those two, listening to those 2 tracks just really, really made my excitement level even higher. So I'm really looking
Same here,
forward to
brother.
it. Yeah. So, on to today's show. We are doing the Bruce McMouse Show. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing the episode, and we're going to be, talking a little bit about it. We'll be giving our comments about the show itself, the live shows, or the live performances, giving our thoughts. Now, I do want to say that there was not really a lot of information given out for the Bruce McMouse Show on the box set here, because that's where you're
Yeah,
going to get this. You're going to get this on the Red Rose Speedway box
box.
set.
Yeah.
And you do get those original sketches that we'll be talking about in a few minutes. You get the dialogue sheet, which we'll be going over in a little bit as well. But it didn't really come with any text regarding, when it was made, why it was canned and put on the shelf. But I do want to give a shout out to our buddy Adrian Sinclair, who him and Alan Kozin, they are working on the McCartney Legacy right now, and just the information I got on the Bruce McMouse Show, I think everybody's going to be really happy with what they have in Volume 1 of their McCartney Legacy series. So really looking forward to that next year as well. So we got a ton of information that Adrian was so nice to give regarding the Bruce McMouse Show. So I'll be going over some of that info while we're playing the show.
Yeah, and you can follow along with your script here if you want.
Yeah, the good old script. Yeah, not
Dialogue.
really much of a script though, is it?
No.
I kind of feel, well, no, we'll save our thoughts
Yeah, no, it just and yeah, well, this was a much often talked about thing that we heard about in the over McCartney's history. Very, you'd read about it in books and how it was supposed to be a film, but there was really scant stuff written about it. We didn't really know. Oh, it was an animated thing with a mouse. Well, what else?
Right. What
And
else?
now, now you got it. You've got a standard DVD and a Blu Ray in the Speedway bundle from 2018.
Right.
And it's just, it's amazing quality. It's top shelf quality, as usual with this kind of stuff and the care. But now that we have the context and a little history,
Yeah.
that's going to help as well too, moving forward, and kind of tell people a little bit about this
Right.
forgotten thing and maybe why it didn't come out at the time.
Well, I do think that after watching it, we can get a sense why it didn't come out at the time. But just to understand, what it is, what the reasons were, and then you watch it and you say, okay, maybe this wasn't the greatest idea.
I
but
think
then
for 1972 though, to do an animated and live action thing together is pretty cool. I know it's cheesy.
I mean, it was probably before. I mean, it was I think it was a pretty good idea, but it's McCartney doing his kid thing. We know he loves animated films.
Yeah.
He's talked about that. But how did the other members feel about it? You think? Here he is. Doing. Mary Had a Little Lamb, and they're going through that, and now they're going through this. This cartoon. During live shows.
They probably hated it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they probably they didn't enjoy it. Whatever, but. I don't know. I mean, I'm part of a band with McCartney. I'm thinking the last thing I'm thinking, okay, we're going to end up doing a TV show with a cartoon mouse running around all over the place.
But you're playing with Paul McCartney, and I guess they were
Yeah.
able to forgo a lot of that stuff for what he wanted to do.
Right.
And full disclosure, if you've not seen this film, this is Paul when the film opens and certain scenes of the concert. This is full on mullet mode McCartney from like '73. Full on mullet.
Full
Like
on
not
mullet.
just like long hair
Right.
being run.
No,
Like this is like
peak
73
mullet.
peak mullet time.
Right.
Red Rose Speedway, like the mullet of all mullets.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Paul, but it was a mullet and a half, man. Damn.
All right, so let's hit play and let's see what we can
All right, we're gonna
what
just
we can
play
do.
this. We're not gonna do 5.1 because we're not.
No, no.
We'll watch it, and here we go.
Yeah. And on with my show, he says. So the show itself was evolved over
There
18.
it is.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Look at that thing. Oh my
Oh my gosh.
God.
And we'll be seeing a lot more of that throughout the show too.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Cool wing.
because
Like,
yeah,
that's a cool little wing shirt that Denny's
yeah.
got on there.
I wonder if that's the same one that Paul was wearing throughout. But anyways, I know it looks like it's kind of patchy right now, but hopefully that'll improve or whatnot. But this whole thing evolved over a 18-month period. The Bruce McMouse himself was conceived in the West Indies while they were on vacation. Paul and Linda were on vacation, and these sketches that we got, in the box set, they were sketched at the same place where Linda took the picture of the bowl of cherries for the McCartney album.
Right.
So pretty cool here. So we see this is the actual, if you can see
Music recorded by Alan Parsons.
Yes,
The
Alan Parsons. Some names on here that we'll be going over throughout the show too. A couple important names. A couple little controversy there with what the animated director as well. We'll go over that in a little bit. But here we go. So lights out. We're behind the curtain. Getting all that set up too just took me back to my old job too when I was a catering chef, because I would always see the stage get set up or the stage built behind the scenes. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Now, this is something. We're going to go into Big Bar in Bed now, and is not. This is totally done, not live.
After the fact. Yeah. So, they recorded, they at the last minute, Paul decided, okay, we're going to record the last 4 or 5 shows of the tour. So they got some people lined up for that. And, this was during the 72 tour, the Wings Over Europe.
Wings
Europe,
over
right?
Europe, yeah. It'd be nice. Well, I'm sure we'll find out in the McCartney Legacy the actual dates where they were pulled from, and I'm sure that's already available now. But
probably,
it's just amazing to think that this stuff has been professionally shot and sitting in the cans for 45, 50 years almost.
Right. So more sketches were also were done at the MPL studios in London. So
Soho Square, baby.
Soho Square, yep.
Soho Square.
Soho Square. So
I went. Yeah, it's a good place to go.
Yeah, all these were part of the Red Rose Speedway archive box set. So you can check those out if you have them. So obviously, like we said before, they filmed everything. They thought it was a little, boring in places, so they went back and they filmed a couple tunes here, like this one right here, because you can tell just right off the bat that this is not live. You got doesn't go with the rest of the tour. You can see Paul has his longer, haircut in there. So,
but then other times in this, he's got the shorter hair.
Yeah, because that's part of the actual tour.
Right. So this was definitely done later, probably close to the album, when the album was coming out properly.
Correct. Yeah, because if you look at it, really, there's really only one song from Band on the from Red Rose Speedway, and that's My Love. The rest of the tracks, would have maybe been on Red Rose. Some of the tracks would have been on Red Rose Speedway if it was.
Yeah, I Would Only Smile.
Album.
Right. Yeah. Which we, and we'll, we're doing that album live, rank the tracks, probably another week, 2 weeks.
Couple weeks, yeah.
That'll be a fun one because that's,
so this is introducing the band pretty much, and then pretty soon it's going to lead us to the hole under the stage, and we will be introduced to the Bruce McMouse family.
Yeah, I think I heard an interview with Denny when the box set came out, and Paul sent him, he sent him the live box set, which was cool. I'm sure that Denny appreciated that. I don't know if he sent one to everybody, but him and Paul seem to have a good relationship now.
Right.
which is cool. I mean, I'm
Right.
sure Denny sees this stuff now. He's like, wow, we did
Yeah.
this. We did this stuff.
So, again, this part is it was record. This was filmed later. Paul is wearing, a lot of the same, a couple of the same shirts that he wore during the tour. And then now here we go.
Here
We're
we go.
going into the hole, and we're going to see a pet spider here pretty soon, and. And yeah,
Yeah.
because these original sketches, you also see a walrus. So you would imagine that there was going to be a walrus involved here, but yeah, but there's a spider.
Yeah.
The animation looks okay. It's not terrible. I've seen worse animation. So now we're getting reintroduced to the McMouse family. We see Bruce there with his wife Yvonne, which we know in later years, Paul would do a song titled Yvonne, which basically nothing to do with this.
Yvonne.
Yeah, thank you. And then I believe that was SWAT that we just saw.
Right.
Here's Swoony, and then in a few seconds, and there is Soily, which again now is another McCartney track, and that would be cool because they did perform Soily did during this tour, so it would have been cool if they included that, with this show. So he's
I
running.
think Paul does the voice of him, right?
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So here we go. So the McMouse family got Bruce is performed by a gentleman named Derek Goller, I believe. Yvonne is Pat Comer's. Soily, I'm thinking that's Paul because they are credited. Paul and Linda are credited as voices
Yes.
in this show. Swoony, who we saw, I'm thinking that was Linda.
Linda.
And this SWAT here, the little guy, the smart one, is Derek Nemo, I believe. And if you listen to this, he sounds a lot like Jeremy from Yellow Submarine.
Yes.
And I did the research, but it's not the same person. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they're finishing up Big Barn Bed here.
No, now Eat at Home now.
Is it we're out Eat at Home now?
This is Eat at Home, yeah.
Okay.
The second best song on Rim.
Yeah. Anyways, what you're going to see is bits and pieces. Now it's going to go back between live. See right there.
Yeah, now long hair. And now
long hair. Yeah, now short hair. Yeah, so you're going back and forth, So, I guess the band was a little kind of embarrassed about how the performances on here. They didn't really think it was their playing was great. And then there you go. We got long hair Paul. And looking back on it, so they went back into a stage and they filmed some bits and pieces, just to kind of make everything flow a little bit more.
Yeah.
So there's the smart kid right there, and voila, the table is now set. Linda's really cool throughout this whole thing. She's very animated. Her and Henry are actually really very animated throughout this whole show.
I just like. What's the one mouse? The one that Paul does. Who's that?
Oh, Swoony or Soily. Sorry, Soily.
Is he the one that comes in and does the screaming? Yeah, the wings, man.
Yeah. It's the wings, man. I'm rooting for him.
That's Paul. That's so Paul. Yeah.
It's got to be, yeah. But okay, so you're getting introduced to the family. There's not much interaction between the mice and the band just yet. That'll come later. But I gotta tell you, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Eat at Home on RAM, I do dig their live version.
This live version here,
yeah. It really fits that particular band, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but Paul, I mean, being the animated, person that he is, fan that he is, I would imagine that, films like Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks were kind of influence on him because you got that, live action and the animation feel.
I want that Blue Wings t-shirt. I want that.
Oh, isn't that cool?
I want that shirt.
So, like I said, this was filmed during the last 4 or 5 dates of the '72 tour. Paul recruited Barry Chaddington,
Chaddington, yes, Barry
to
Chaddington did the
direct
film.
the
Yeah,
film. His team was assembled at the last minute. Now, the team was also getting ready to film the Olympics right after this.
that's
So as
right.
soon as they got done with this, they went right to Munich, I believe, to
Munich.
film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the animated director, that's the story where there'll be a little controversy here. Eric Weiland, he was, like I said, he was the animated director. Paul had given him the original sketches, and then him and his team brought a lot of this to life.
Yeah.
And those original sketches, which we'll talk about a little later in the film, and how that was a little bit of a controversy there.
Yeah.
So now again, it's we're just getting introduced. So
Time for some bip bop.
bip bop, yeah. So
Which, and that's the thing. Like I we don't know how true that, we don't know if this was done or not. Like, but the audience, the audience, like in terms
right,
of like hearing them, like that canned applause, was that done
that
in
had to have been
post?
added. That had been controlled, almost like the laugh track in those '60s and '70s comedies.
It has to
TV
be.
comedies. You know what I mean?
It has to be. You listen to the live, and again, the source of the Live Over Europe CD with the
Mhm.
box set.
Right.
That's just this. That's just this audio pulled out of this from this video, and
Mm-hmm.
it just. I mean, I know the shows were probably very good, but that crowd noise, that ambient crowd noise that we hear throughout all these recordings,
Right.
sounds a little fabricated
Hmm.
and after the fact. Maybe I hope maybe it's not. Maybe somebody can tell us otherwise. But it just
Right.
sounds, they were like, oh, we're gonna just put this crowd noise in to make it sound like it's, there wasn't 200 people in the concert.
Right. So Bip Bop, we're going to be talking about this soon on our next Rank the Tracks
Yeah.
series, and you know again, I think that's another song that I'm not a big fan of on the album, but it works
Here it works
live.
here.
It works better live than it does on an album, I think.
Yeah, it certainly does, because the band gets to flourish a little bit more in a
Right.
lot in a lot. It's different. It's a whole. It's not a controlled. I mean, it's a live recording, so
Hmm.
it's going to have a little different quality than of a traditional student. And then
Right.
the vocal. I mean, again, this is like McCartney. All this whole show is McCartney doing his "Oh Darling." Like that's his
His vocals are
vocals.
very raspy throughout
Very.
you know. So again, they got the pet spider, and if you looked at sketches throughout here, you can see, and I'll find it here, that there was like a walrus type character, which I wonder here, I got it right here. I wonder if that was going to be
Hmm.
original part
The
of the
walrus was
show.
Paul.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go, my friend. As I dropped one here, hopefully it didn't rip. Um, but yeah, I mean, but it's cute. I mean, the little family here, the Bruce is telling, stories of past experiences on the stage, and the going ons of other shows. So here we go. Here's another part that was recorded later with that
And you can
wonderful
tell.
mullet. Yeah,
And it is because it's just zoomed in on him. We're not seeing
right,
any kind of exterior shots
right,
or super wide shots, so we know that that's just
right,
totally done after the fact.
right. A really cool effect
Oh,
here.
now we cut to some different footage here for the
Yeah,
mess. This is the
yeah,
mess
this
now.
is the mess. Yeah, and this is another track that just works great live. I've always been a big fan of this song, "The Mess."
Oh,
Um,
hey, B
you know,
side to My Love, man.
exactly. Great. Yep. Yep.
Live at the Hague, and
I do believe they did record this in the studio, but that if the mess was going to be on the proposed double album,
it was
I'm
going to
sure
be the
it was going to be the
studio.
live. It would no, I think it would have been the live.
Oh, they would have thrown the live cut on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same with Best Friend. It looked like they were going to use Best Friend live as
live.
well.
Oh, that for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but again, I mean, what are your thoughts on this version of this first incarnation of Wings?
Overall, I think
Yeah.
that this set, like everything else, has given this 1971 to 73. It's due. I mean, everybody thinks Wings, and they think the major six, the core lineup, the most successful one, and deservedly so. They garnered the most praise. But man, these are the early Wings sound with Henry and Denny in there, and playing that. That was the first thing.
Right.
That was
It was
the
more
first
raw feel, I would
raw
imagine.
raw feel. They were still just trying to come together as a band and figure out how are they going to do this? How are they going to become a band and do things and really start from the bottom up? I mean,
Mm.
so
Right.
you got to give a lot of credit to Paul there. He just didn't want to just become famous and just have a super group and just take over the
Right.
world. He wanted to start from scratch. It's what he
Right.
wanted to do from the end of the days of the Beatles. That's
Right.
and
He didn't want to rest on his laurels. However, he didn't want to repeat what he had just done,
no,
a few years prior.
no, and it's kind of like it's almost like a win. It's a win-win for Paul, but you could also say lose-lose because if he formed a band with like five super
Mhm.
musicians, people are going to say, "Oh, these are
Yeah.
just five super talented guys, and it should be good." If
Right.
if he does what he did and form a band with a bunch of unknowns, you're going
Hmm.
to say, "Well, this is just Paul McCartney with a bunch of backing people." So,
Right.
how is that fair to him?
Right.
So he had to make his decision to form a band, and
Right.
by '73 this you could see that this lineup was really cooking with these
Right.
recordings. I mean,
Yeah.
they were on
As we
fire.
look at Henry playing his solo, I think this was definitely some of Henry's best playing right here on this song on the mess.
Amazing. I got so many different shots here pulled from him in the
Right.
white suit, black shirt.
Right. I mean, they're
Um,
taken from different.
oh,
Obviously, they're taken
shows.
from different shows.
Yeah.
You know.
At least not forget the first time the general public saw any footage from the '72 and '73 tours would have been that 1986 Paul McCartney special, which was
Hmm.
done to promote Press to Play.
Right.
I remember
Right.
seeing that on VHS as a kid, watching that, and they all of a sudden they cut to Wings footage, and you're seeing professionally shot footage of
Right.
wildlife, which is from this now we know, and it was like, wow, there's pro shot footage of wildlife. It was like a holy, like, where is that? How can you
Right.
see that? And then, and it was like forever until this came out. It was like the only time you'd see that clip. But hey, there's some pro shot footage of wildlife and hi. Don't know
Right.
but now, now we have it in McMouse.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mess is definitely a keeper for me. I've always enjoyed that song. Great rock. Blah, blah,
This
blah, rocker.
this I think didn't Mitch or somebody see what they did? They did a short film premiere of this, right? In New York or around or worldwide at a couple different theaters of Bruce McMouse. Wasn't it
Yeah,
shown?
well, this was, I think it was in 10 theaters across the country. This Bruce McMouse was shown. I think I did look, and I don't think it did play in Arizona, unless I would have went if they did play in Arizona.
Oh yeah, yeah. Enough
So
time goes on, people are going to say, "What's the movies?"
right. So there we go. There's the mess, which again, great track. Great live track. How about that? So now right there, you see this Bruce McMouse show. So now you're thinking, okay, this is going to be for TV, you know. So now we're going to get Paul here to introduce Wildlife, I believe.
Yeah. So that Rickenbacker bass. I wish he would just
Mhm.
still go back to playing it, man. Come on.
Right. I think and it's really cool that we're seeing this footage here that was shown behind, on the
Right.
back
During
of
during the
during the
performances, this is
performance.
what you see.
Right.
Now, this is 1973.
Right.
Two.
No,
I mean,
two.
I'm sorry, two.
Yeah.
Video screens at a live concert that's something that doesn't really happen on a
Right.
grand scale.
Right.
So much later. I'm
Right.
sure
And it's
just a projection screen showing some stills, really, some
mhm.
footage. It wasn't elaborate.
And I think it's really cool that he incorporates, humans in with the animals. I think it's really creative. There, I mean, as you can see now that they were playing it behind there
Yeah,
during
this
live.
was the footage. This was the footage that they pulled from for the McCartney special in '86, and I
Gotcha.
remember just seeing that, going, "Wow!" And again, Wildlife. I think to your point, I think this sounds better live than on record.
Yeah, no, I hear. I mean, his vocals on this are tremendous. I mean, that raspy, Rod Stewart, if you will, kind of raspy vocals, I think really fits this track.
Really, you think he sounds like Rod Stewart a little bit?
Just the rap, not really, but I'm just saying that it's the same ballpark with the
Oh
raspiness.
yeah.
You know
The
what I mean?
remember too. This is still he's still very heavily into smoking cigarettes now,
Oh, of course, yeah.
and those other things too.
Yeah.
So this is why, and even on it was pretty prevalent in a lot of his life. I mean, I know Wings Over America. He still has that raspiness when he
Hmm.
sings, but then he
Right.
can sing ballads. So I mean, he can do, you know, he can suit it to whatever the song is.
No, I mean he was at the top of the game in his vocals back then. I mean he could switch it. He can do raspy and he can do smooth when when we'll hear My Love.
It's nice when he does talk about this song, The Right Wingspan, about how, this is one there was the song they went to go play it, and Linda forgot the chords.
Chords, right? That would have been funny if they showed that part.
Yeah, yeah. Wow,
But that was actually during the university tour,
yeah, it
though.
was
I'd
the
imagine.
first, yeah,
Yeah.
the first tour. Wings' first flight as opposed to their
Right.
last flight. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but just good camera work here.
No, I think they filmed it. The way they filmed it was great. I mean, you love those up close shots, the ones from down below. You get like that crane shot for like right there. And he got it coming in right into Denny Sywell. Just like and Let It Be.
Oh
Where he
God,
just
yeah.
takes the crane.
It would just come
It's
down. It
like,
would just go right.
right in the
Yeah,
Ringo.
yeah, just go right there. Oh,
We'll create the shots. We're the band.
we're the band. We're a big act.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait till that thing comes out next year and we have to go through
Oh,
that
I'm
thing.
so pumped. So pumped to talking to Michael Lindsay Hogg about that. I am so glad
Yeah,
that he
man.
agreed to come on the show.
That's gonna
Um,
be
yeah,
unbelievable.
right.
Yeah, I remember too. Remember in terms of like live concerts. Okay, it's the early '70s. This is still years before Showco comes out, designing massive lightings and
Hmm.
programming lights that like they use for Gen. This is just basic, stage lighting and go.
Right.
You got some basic lights, but there was no way. The production of a show is so. This is so very limited. Early days of like a live performance.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
spotlights and stuff like that. It was just light it up the stage and go.
Right.
Behind the drum shot, very
Look
good.
at those heels on the boots that Denny was
I mean,
wearing.
even look like the microphones have duct tape around them. That's just
Right.
supposed to show you how like it's just lo-fi, man.
Hmm.
I mean, look at this. There was a couple of amps there. I mean, that's
Right.
it.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, they don't do the whole 6 minutes worth of this song, so they cut it back because now I think we're going to be switching into Mary Had a Little Lamb here in a second.
Oh, it was well on the in the film it's not the live version, but on the disc it's the live version, right? Or is that
Mm.
shortened too? I forget. No, this goes
Yeah,
right.
I hear it's shortened. It's not 6 minutes. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
And here we go. We're going into Mary Had a Little Lamb here. So
There,
just
that looks like some
background.
footage. That was some footage
It's
with Paul
from
Lynde.
we saw on Three
Oh,
Legs, the
the
Three
three
Legs video.
legs, yeah, on the three
Yeah,
legs video film. That's exactly
yeah,
what that was from.
yeah.
Where? Yeah, that's three leg. Yeah, or heart of the no three
Part
legs.
of the country as well.
Heart
Yeah,
of the country as well. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, yeah. So social commentary going on here. Animals in the zoo, which
right.
people, you know, that could be a metaphor for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happened to? Anyways, it's really cool to see these early footage, these early shots of Paul and Linda.
Right, and here we go
Yeah,
right to little Mary now.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
and this is a truncated performance as well too. This
Mm,
isn't the full song.
no,
He leaves
no.
that last verse out.
Mm-hmm.
Much to my chagrin. This is like my guilty pleasure. I could listen to this song 25 times in a row and still not
That's
get tired of it.
great. No, that's really cool. And you can see, yeah, different. Different. Linda's hair is a little different on each different take. They're all wearing different outfits. 1 minute she's on the organ, the next minute or piano,
Yeah.
next minute she's doing the tambourine. So
This one though, I mean, with the amount of videos for this song.
there's already 6 videos or 5 videos.
Well, let's count them down. Oh, and let's talk about this one from this
Right,
performance, right? Bruce
right,
McMouse.
right.
You've got the
James
barnyard,
Paul,
the bar,
James
well, James Paul McCartney,
McCartney, right,
the carnival, the clown costume
right.
one,
Yes,
3,
yeah. The barn one.
the
There's
the
another barn one.
the barn one,
Yep.
and the Flip Wilson performance, I
Right, but
think, too.
I think
And
we're given 4 different versions on the
in the box that we're
in the
given,
box set. Right.
yeah, Flip Wilson. You have it right there.
Yeah, let me
I like the Flip Wilson ones. I think is my favorite. I like that one. That's the one with the trippy one where their shirts change colors.
right.
I dig the Flip Wilson
You
version.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. We got the music videos. We got Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh,
One
the cartoon
countryside.
one.
Right. We had the countryside one. Then
Right.
we got the desert. Then we got barn, and then we got psychedelic. So we get 4 different versions of Mary Had a Little Lamb.
So is that the Flip Wilson one isn't considered on that one?
I'd have to go back and check it out. You know.
No, psychedelic. No, that's the psychedelic one.
Okay.
That's the psychedelic one.
Right.
Um,
So it's really cool. You get to see behind the scenes of the family life. You know, you get Mary there. It's really cool seeing her clap her hands, trying to get all the lambs back in their fences here. So I mean, it's really cool. This whole way of life. I don't think I would like to live like that, but
no, but they did.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is the last verse cut out now,
Right.
just to the end of this. Yeah, you saw a lot of this footage in Wingspan too. A lot of this specific footage we saw in Wingspan towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I was part of Paul McCartney's band, I don't know if I'd really care to play this.
You would
You
too.
know,
You'd say, "Yes, sir. Can I have some more?"
no, I don't know. I have to probably put my foot down. Okay, so here we go. We got Blue Moon of Kentucky. Great harmonica playing by Denny Lane on this. You know. So then we're going to actually see some kind of interaction with this Blue Moon here, and it's going to go down with into the Bruce McMouse household here in a few minutes. So there it is. So they did do a couple covers during this tour, and this was one of them.
Sure.
But Sywell, I mean, is an incredible drummer. I mean, I don't know if this band, I don't know how. I don't know. I look at this particular band and it's great. I'm not taking anything away from them. But when I look at that '76 tour band, I see stardom there. I see garage band. I see garage band here.
And you see professionalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, listen, it was an embryonic period of the band, but now, we've been given a chance to reassess it, and maybe are people overstating it a little bit? Right. Maybe, but it's still good. I mean,
right.
For what it was at the time, it was still.
I mean, they've even admitted that they're not really proud of their playing, throughout this tour, or actually while they were filming, and they went back and they checked it out, and they said that they weren't really actually proud. I mean, obviously we know Linda was still learning. Sure. Henry is a feel kind of player, so he's going to play what he feels and not always go exactly by script when he's on the stage.
No, I mean these were true pro. He was in Joe Cocker's Grease band, and now he's playing, this.
Right.
So, but is it Blue Moon of Kentucky or Sea Moon of Kentucky?
Yeah. So Denny. I didn't realize Denny Lang was such a great harmonica player. He really kicks ass on harmonica here. So now we're getting back to this animation bit. It's getting back to the to Eric Weiland here. Now obviously we know that this was put on the shelf after his part was completed. So I believe in the early '90s he fell ill, and his daughter reached out to Paul and say, "Hey, can my father see the the finished product before his death. So Paul agreed. He sent the VHS, I believe it was on, and he got to see the finished product. So he agreed, yeah, this probably should not have been released.
So the director's daughter reached out
Yeah,
to Paul. Wow.
the animated director.
The animated director, and said,
Right.
"Oh, can my dad see the finished thing?" Wow.
So
And
now that being said, well, we'll get back to that here. We'll hold off on the rest here, so we'll see where we're at, because now Blue Moon, Kentucky is probably just about over. Yeah, I really dig. Yeah, so we're gonna get into.
I am your singer now, which is again live works so much better here.
Right. And it's really cool. This is another song that's been that I've come to appreciate more over time.
I'm gonna save some of my comments on this one because
yeah, same here. I'm not gonna give all my comments away because of our rank the tracks for wildlife. But it's cool. You're watching this, and Linda does her bit, and then you hear the applause coming in for her. So I'm kind of like curious if that was like added in, during post production.
I think that is post production sweetening.
Yeah.
I will say though, just in terms of the context of the record, like I had said the other night with Heart of the Country kind of opening up side 2 nice on Ram.
Right.
This opens up side 2 of Wildlife nicely too. It's just a nice little 2-minute quick thing. Another early childhood memory for me musically is putting this on and just going through those early McCartney records and hearing this nice little ballad. I mean, it wasn't going to set the world on fire, but I always thought it was a nice, pleasant song.
Yeah. Let me see. We got a very revealing outfit there.
And I think what's different here live is Paul obviously was going to sing with Linda the whole time. On the record, they both take their turns, but this is both of them together. We're going to sing this song. He wasn't going to let her sing solo on her own here.
No,
this stage of the game.
Yeah, so this is Paul.
We're years away. We're years away from Cook of the House territory.
Yeah, but she still holds her own.
Absolutely.
I give her credit for being out there. I mean, this was not easy, I would imagine, for her.
No, I know she says in one of the books. She, as Wings grew, she enjoyed playing the larger venues better than these smaller ones, which for obvious reasons, because there's more people, but there's not as many eyes on you. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? In a venue like this is probably a small, theater in, Amsterdam where there's, 2,000, 3,000 people tops.
Right.
So that pressure is amplified on you to perform.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, she had nothing to lose. I don't think the pressure was on her. I mean, obviously her confidence, her confidence had to continue.
Long hair again.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting into the interactions with the animated.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the film, this stuff.
Yeah. Don't even understand what Henry's saying there.
Well, he's a Scotsman. You can't understand what those people say anyway. Love the Scots, though.
Yeah.
we love this is cool. I mean, this is just seeing like the human and the animated stuff.
Again, there's talk about then how they just really didn't enjoy trying to act out, or pretending to act out with with the animation going on at the same time.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I think there was talk of them even trying to do a couple of song and dance numbers, with the animation with the mice, so.
Cool ring.
Yeah. Great look.
You want to produce
so obviously this stuff was filmed later on, not during the tour.
Yeah, this is all on some set. Probably L Street Studios. I'm sure Alan or anybody can. That usually was the place they did all that filming. Oh, so Seaside.
We're getting into Seaside Woman now. Again, this is, I believe this was done afterwards as well. As you can see the lighting.
You can tell the lighting.
Exactly,
this is all post.
Right.
This is
and cool. Again, another cool video. I would imagine that this is the video they would show during the actual performance. during the live show.
During the concert, yeah.
Right.
And this is just, they were on Jamaica and they just love the reggae stuff.
Absolutely.
I prefer B-side to C-side personally. I like that
Really?
song. I do. I enjoy that better than this.
Yeah, so you can see the longer hair with Paul, so you can tell that this was filmed afterwards.
Totally. I don't think he's ever had it that long ever since
that might be the record right there.
It's gotta be. Yeah. It's gotta be. You imagine if his kids looked at this stuff now, or his grandkids are like, "Hey, granddude."
Yeah, right.
Hey, granddude, what's with the hair, man?
What's with the hair? Seaside Woman is, I think, possibly, they're probably in her top 3 tracks that Linda has written and, has lead vocals on. I really enjoy Seaside Woman, even though I'm not the biggest reggae fan.
For me, that's Love's Full Glory is my favorite of hers.
Oh, Love's Full Glory is mine too. And then, followed by Oriental Nightfish. But that's really not singing. That's more of,
that's more atmospheric.
Narration.
Yeah.
But I really dig Henry's, facial expressions throughout this whole show. But then he just seems like really laid back,
Right, Susie and the Red Stripes, right?
Yeah.
When they wanted to be Ricky in the something or other. Didn't they want to be that too? They wanted to be Ricky in the something or others.
Yeah, funny stuff. But going back to the animation part so after he was able to see his that video, the complete finished product, unfortunately he passed, and then I think in the early 2000s, I believe, maybe it had been 2011, maybe not early 2000, but anyway, so his daughter, then Maggie Thornton, put all of these sketches. I would assume it was these sketches.
Did she? She's the one that
she put them up on auction.
Oh.
But guess who blocked it?
Paul.
Paul blocked it. Yeah, claiming
that when were they put up?
I believe it was 2011.
Okay.
So Paul found out about it. He blocked it, and he claimed that he did not know that that he had these sketches, which, going back and doing research, it looked like it was Paul that was the one that gave Eric these sketches for,
right,
for him to, bring the animation to life, so whether or not that these are the original sketches or not, I'm not sure. I don't know if they were talking about that in McCartney Legacy or not, but
they probably. I don't know. I mean, they're on MPL letterhead. I mean, I'm sure that they probably were.
Right.
But
so Maggie claims that her father had it's been in their possession for decades by this point in time. So I mean they would be his. Okay, now we're taking another commercial break here. And here's we got Soily again, which we assume is Paul, and there's Swoony, which we assume is Linda. Now they're inviting all of their friends to take part in this concert. And we see Bruce McMouse here really getting into it.
Yeah. There's Paul doing that mouse sign.
Yeah.
As we hear the Uncle Albert. Now, I just don't know if that's Thrillington or new recording. It's got to be Thrillington. It's got to be the Thrillington.
What are your thoughts on the animation here?
I think the animation is, I think it's good. I think to me it looks like a typical cartoon. It's, I think it really looks, where it really shines though is some of those earlier scenes, like this, like whenever whenever it's juxtaposed with the live.
Mm-hmm.
The in-person stuff, it just, the animation pops.
Right.
For me.
Linda flirting again.
Yeah. To me, I mean, I'm not the biggest cartoon person. I enjoy them, but to me, a cartoon is a cartoon. To me.
Yeah. Animation, Andy. Animation.
Cartoon.
That's the new PC.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
I
Fair
don't.
enough.
I don't do that. Sorry, those
Yeah.
of you that know me.
That's
Don't
just
play.
teasing with you, anyways. So here we got My Love now. So this is the My Love that they
Okay, yeah. Now,
performed, before they actually record My Love as we know it now.
as a song, as a proper
Right,
song.
right. So with this My Love, you get Linda adding her 2 cents to
Oh,
whenever Paul says My Love, then she
call,
sings My Love.
call and refrain.
Right, exactly.
Call and refrain.
Yeah, which I kind of dig. I kind of dig this,
I'm
Linda,
sorry. I'm sorry.
you know,
Call and response.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of dig that version.
I think, yeah, because that was how they did it live before they
Hmm.
recorded it proper. Now,
Right.
was this the fateful time on tour where Henry wanted to play some other kind of solo, and Paul was like, "No, do it," and then ended up doing his own thing.
Maybe. But then obviously when you hear this solo, it's nothing like the solo that you get, on the finished product.
No,
You
because it
know.
was still, I honestly think that he's referring to the performance on James Paul McCartney, maybe with that.
Mm,
Although I
okay.
don't know because the record was already out by then, so he was already just
Right.
playing what he already recorded. So
Right.
this might be the solo might not have really been, you know,
No,
he
the
might.
solo is really weak on this performance here, in my opinion. I mean, you can tell where he's kind of going in that direction, but he really fine tunes it here. When he records it for Red Rose Speedway, the solo that is.
Right, and maybe when they were recording it properly, maybe that's in the studio. He told them, "Hey, do it this way." It might have just been a
No, that's
studio
where
thing.
no, that's where Henry said, "Hey, can I try something different?" So and then he brings this on. I think it's really cool that they included this film footage there during the show.
Oh yeah. Again, for 1972, to give
Yeah.
something an audience a visual background was pretty groundbreaking.
Hmm.
Paul on the keys there.
See
And
his vocals here. I think his vocals are. This is one of his stronger vocal performance. This tour, this particular
oh
tour.
yeah,
Everything I've heard from it, because I've heard those tracks from the
the
big
box
box
set.
set. Yeah, and I think they're great.
Oh my God, they're tremendous.
Yeah.
Little mouse crying here. Um, the Maya Love, the proper promotional film, though, that actually was done closer to when the album came out because, again,
Hmm.
the crazy long flowing mullet is in
Right.
full
Right.
smoke machines started up. It's
Hmm.
like, totally a early
Yeah.
70s vibe there.
Right. That was pretty you know pretty brave of Linda too to wear such a low cut outfit. You know, adding a little more sex appeal to the show, I guess. Huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. For an animated film, hey,
Yeah.
look out.
Hey, you gotta have stuff for the kids, and you gotta have stuff for the dads too.
Yeah.
I don't know. During this, you watch her, and she still seems a little bit not so sure of herself.
Oh, well, of course.
You know. Oh,
For all the
oh,
for all the lovers in the house, as they like.
yes, exactly. So I think that's it for My Love. And then here we go. This is during post as well. You got to get Sywell in there for a bit. Got to get his little part.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like they're having a decent time doing this. I mean, I'm kind of curious the time frame because, like I said, I mean, this all took place over an 18-month span.
18-month period. Yeah.
Right.
When do we know when was the project finally shelved? 74-ish?
Yeah, I'll get to that here closer to the end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But here we go. We're now into Maybe I'm Amazed.
Right, which still very interesting to hear those live early versions of Maybe I'm Amazed, because he
Right.
really hadn't perfected it like he did eventually in
For
'76.
76? Okay.
Yeah, because
Right.
the song now, when you hear it live in these early Wing shows, the song kind of just peters out. It
Right.
doesn't have that really classic,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
but it doesn't make it any less great.
No, no. But I think that just adds to Jimmy McCullough's brilliance, as a guitar player.
Oh yeah,
You know, maybe didn't have the confidence in Henry to do that. That last coda there towards the
yeah.
end.
We've got to see that Jimmy book. We're gonna get that Jimmy book
Oh, come
from
on,
Paul.
Paul. Let's get that. Let's go, Paul. I think he did give an update saying he's just waiting on final approval of the pictures, I believe, or
Yeah,
something like that. He's waiting for some kind of final approval before he gets the ball going for putting the book together.
good
So,
deal.
yeah.
No, Denny's all sweated up there a little bit.
Oh yeah. It's all hot and smoky.
Marshall
I mean,
amps.
these aren't big, huge,
No,
stadiums or anything like that.
3,000, 3,000,
3,000,
3,000
yeah.
people. That's
So
it.
these are theaters, really.
Pretty much.
You know, did you visit? Did you get to see any of these theaters? While in your
The
stay?
ones. Oh yeah, the ones in England. Sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Galmont and
Mm,
all the ones, the Royal Court Theater that he did the fundraiser for when he
okay.
played there in '79. Yeah, there's tons.
Gotcha. Mm,
A lot of them are closed now, but there's a few still going.
right.
The Liverpool Philharmonic, which is
Mm,
which is right next to Lipa,
okay.
and that's the pub where Paul and James Corden did their thing.
Right.
I've
Right.
I had many a pint in that place.
That's very cool. Now this is something you would see at a Kiss show right here. This was
Oh,
done before Kiss, actually. So this was really cool. I dig this part right here. This is like Henry and Denny really rocking out. This is really cool. Later on, Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley would do stuff like that during Kiss shows.
yeah, it's still very very still now that towards the end. This is probably towards the end of the live concert, and he has to center his set around the
Mm,
strongest piece that he has at this time, which is obviously Maybe I'm Amazed.
right.
That's the bona fide hit that he knows he has. So he probably closes his shows with
With
this.
that, and then comes out with the encores.
Right. I don't know how it could be comfortable wearing a jacket without a shirt though, like that. That'd be
Oh,
sweaty.
yeah, probably. I
Yeah, here
don't
we
know
go.
what
With
kind
the
of.
kind of just truncated ended. Yeah, here.
Mm,
Right. Yeah, that classic McCartney. Little piano keyboard at the end. Ding that we get.
right. Right.
You're back.
So after everything was shot, it was they started editing stuff, and they thought that the show itself wasn't very interesting, and so that's why they go back and they film some extra spots and to tie the loose ends, and it's cool they
Ah.
had the audience throughout the show too, to see how they got excited about the show. This would have been so kick-ass to see them live here during this time.
Oh my God! And then here we get this kind of slowish version of Hi Hi Hi.
Right. Yeah.
People,
So this I think would be considered the first encore here.
right, with this, and then Long Tall Sally. There's the
Right.
last one.
Yeah. Yeah. Long Tall Sally. Yeah. So, so going back to the reason this being shelved or whatever. So 18 month span. So you're into 74. So this version of Wings had already dissolved by the time the accountants and Paul's manager at the time, Brian
Brian
Brown,
Brawley. Yeah.
this is called. I mean, literally. I mean, it's been written that he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of his own money on this.
Who? Paul or Brian?
Paul, yeah,
Oh,
Paul.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he had it.
So, I mean, obviously, you know, that version of Wings is not around anymore. So why would you?
Yeah,
Why?
where are you gonna
Why
go? They're not there. They're
yeah. Why
gone.
would you put that out? So
Plus,
stop.
too, you gotta
You know,
remember. Yeah, why would you go?
keep
Yeah,
putting money into it. Why would you keep putting money into it if you know you're going to show this on TV and you're not going to see them.
you
You know,
know, and
you're
you know,
going to
I'm
see
sure.
Denny
I'm sure
or
too. You gotta remember too. I'm sure. You know, everybody was younger then, and he probably was really pissed at them still for leaving.
mm-hmm.
You know, and before they went to Lagos to do a band on the run. So he's like, you know what, the hell, that was with that band. I'm done with those guys. Me, Linda, and Denny are going to do this new
Right.
thing, and that was that. And, you know, that's at the time, you know, it's your very ego was very big. You know, those guys left. I'm pissed off at them. You know, we did this thing, but screw it. And that's
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a Heather in the audience there. I think.
Yeah, that's. I was just going to say it looked like a Heather for there for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised she was allowed to go to the concert. Got a girl crying. We got this like mid tempoed version of Hi Hi Hi, which is interesting. Not
Mm.
as still. I mean, I think the other live
And
versions.
plus, you don't get that, you know, that beginning like you do on
No.
you know, proper, you know. So, and it's funny because this is the band that did that, you know, recorded that song, and you're
Right,
like,
right,
wait a
and you're
minute,
getting this kind of like mid
yeah,
tempoed ballad
right.
rocker version of it, mid
So,
tempo.
and this is where you know it's kind of reverse, where I think that the actual recording is better
Yeah, then the
live
live.
than the
Yes.
live version, which is you know kind of you know disappointing in a way because it's usually the other way around.
Right, right, yeah.
You know.
So cool that he busted back that out into the setlet in 20
Oh, it was so
2013.
cool to see
To
him do
see
that.
Hi 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 as an
Oh,
encore, man.
that
Oh,
was definitely a highlight. Yeah, definitely
here,
a highlight.
take my $250 for Hi 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 alone. Here. That's it. It's funny when he talks about this in the documentary. He's like, well, we put Hi 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 out. And of course, they banned it.
Right. They're gonna say ban it. So
Because,
I'm
yeah.
curious then, if they ban it and they don't get played on the radio, how is he able to do that live? You know?
Well, radio and live is two different. That's two different.
Okay.
That's two different
Right.
law. I mean, radio, you're talking about the BBC and everything else.
Right.
So, unless it would be on pirate radio, which pirate radio was already gone by 72, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Radio Caroline was still around. I don't know. But, yeah, live, there's no. I mean, there's no laws, I guess. Well, maybe there's different laws for
Yeah, I'm just
performing a
curious how
song
that
live.
works.
I think
Right.
radio is different. Radio is a whole different animal with that, because it's the BBC and really live. I mean, it's the venue. It's the venue, the promoter, the people that own the
Mm-hmm.
place. They're not
Right.
They're not adhering to any kind of. You can't play a song that was banned. It's their own place.
Right.
Now if they're playing it, if they're playing at some kind of public thing, then that would be different, I guess.
Mm.
Come on, it was
Interesting.
1972. It was Hi Hi Hi. Come on. you know, Body gun, polygon, whatever the
Yeah.
word is.
What do you think? I think it's body gun. It sounds. I think during this show, it sounds like he's saying body gun here
Yeah,
live.
yeah. I think it's probably body gun.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like if you're gonna perform a song like that or write a song like that, what's wrong with that is saying body gun. You know what I mean? You're already, you know.
Hi Hi Hi.
Yeah,
Body
exactly.
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Take off your face and recover from that trip you've been on. You're already,
We're
talking
talking about
about
this
drugs.
is the BBC, which already flipped out in 1967 because they had the words "I'd love to turn you on."
Right. Right.
And here we go with the finale.
Yeah. So was this Long Tall Sally now?
Tall Sally. Yep.
Yeah.
Good little crowd foot stomper for sure.
Yeah, this tour here, I think they did about 20 tracks or 20 songs on this. 20,
18.
18 to 21, I think it was. That was the huge.
Right.
So we got a good amount here. We got what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think we got 14 tracks here. So we got most of the show.
This is the one where the confetti comes out.
Yeah. Right. And then
This
Henry,
is Henry going down. This is some of the other footage that did escape out into the circulation.
Mm,
For other people to see.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Confetti and balloons. Happy New Year.
So it was really cool that this was, completed, put out. Here we are. We're at the end of the show, and it's nowhere near as cool as the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus, which that's another thing that was put on the shelf for decades.
For 30 years. Finally came out in '98, I think.
Right, but it's out. It's cool, And then we're gonna be hearing. We're gonna see a little shot here. Interesting shot here in a second. But
yeah.
And so this part here. So now you know what.
Hey,
by him doing that, we know he's promoting Red Rose Speedway.
That's what's coming, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly.
That's a cool ending. Yeah, right. That's it, man. MPL Communications already established.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 2018 credits. Yeah.
Yeah. So the people that worked on it.
Yeah.
Prior to
Scott Roger, that's the guy. Thank you, Scott. That's the guy that makes it all. That's the guy who has the master plan.
Okay.
For all these archive releases, he did a great interview years ago. And have you ever seen it? Where he talked about how they schedule McCartney product. Have you ever?
Oh, really?
Seen that?
Well, we need to work on getting him on the show then.
He talks about there's like tier 1 releases and then tier 2 releases.
Gotcha.
Which are really, really informative because and then in terms of how do we do the archive stuff, how do we push Paul's new stuff? It was a really, really cool interview. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Bruce McMouse Show,
Capital.
I want to give a shout out to friend Adrian Sinclair for giving me whatever information he had. I'm sure there's probably more on it, and I'm really looking forward to that book, that McCartney Legacy book, and reading what all the hard work that those two guys put into the book, so.
Absolutely.
But so that was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, this was great. This was great to review this again and really watch it again. I mean, we both bought the box sets 2 years ago, whatever it was, and I watched it once or twice, when I got it, and then looked at it again. I mean, because you buy these things and it's like, are you going to watch this thing every single day? No.
Oh no.
But it's nice to have a purpose to revisit these things and look at them and kind of refamiliarize ourselves with the context then and how it's perceived now,
Right.
And listen, we're in the golden age right now of getting this stuff out there, and this is just another part of all that stuff. Looking at this film and reappraising it, and then listen, if you haven't bought it, get it. I mean, we know that the Big Barn box that's been long gone for years.
Right.
I think it's still going probably for $2,000 on eBay. Do you know?
No, I haven't looked recently.
Do you? But do you know? Are the individual sets still available? Wildlife.
Yes. Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Those were never a limited release like that big set was.
Right.
Set was the limited release. The suitcase was a limited release. So.
But something like this,
these are still available.
They're still available. Like we've gotten so much over the last couple of years. Like this 71 to 73 box set has so much stuff in it. Like I enjoyed Flaming Pie the box, but I don't love it as much as I love this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great. It's got great stories in there.
This was really the big bang for your buck for me. This and Ram really.
Was it. And
yeah.
Yeah, maybe Wings Over America with all the stuff in there too. I mean, but Ram and this 71, 73, these two box sets. I mean,
the bonus discs alone for this set, where you got the reconstructed double album of Red Rose Speedway, and you got the bonus tracks, which included Live and Let Die, 1882, Best Friend, The Mess. I think both versions of the studio and the live. I have to go back and check. You got 3 different versions of 1882. You got like the studio version of a stripped back studio version of Live and Let Die as well. So this was really
and then you get Bruce McMouse thrown into it. And
you get 4 versions. You get 4 versions of the Mary Had a Little Lamb video too. You
get like Wings 71 to 73. That's what you're getting. You're getting the whole. you're getting
Right.
nearly everything. I mean,
Right.
you're getting James Paul McCartney.
Yeah, which not the whole thing, unfortunately, but
No,
is an edited
yeah,
down.
you're getting all that. So for a band that really did not really hit their stride until 75, 76,
Right.
man, they produced a lot of stuff in that 2 year time frame to try to make themselves a band. I mean, films, live performances,
Right.
singles. I mean, they were really a fruitful couple of years there in that embryonic stage, and
Yeah.
it's nice that we have this to look
I
back
mean,
on now.
yeah. I mean, I thought this was an okay idea. I think if it was more professionally Disney professional,
Well, yeah,
if you will, if it looked better, if the animation looked better, because I mean the animation does look a little cheap, I think,
it's
but you get
okay.
what you pay for. If you're not willing to,
Yeah,
know,
you're not gonna spend that Disney
you're not
money.
going to get Hanna Barbera. You're
Quality
gonna,
stuff.
quality stuff. Then, what do you expect?
This is a project that really had to. If it was going to come out, it had to happen really quick. Like
Yeah, this was a spur of the moment deal right here. Project.
it really. And again, when you're talking animation and stuff, it takes time to
Right.
produce all this stuff. But you know, by the time you let all these months and months pass by, and then
Right.
especially if you have a lineup change, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Exactly.
So no surprise. He
You
said,
count your losses and you're on to the next project,
yeah,
which the information that Adrian Sinclair gave us was his next film project was a sci-fi film
hmm
project, and that will be in part 2 of their McCartney Legacy series. So I'm really curious to see what that sci-fi project would have been.
yeah. Well, Magneto and Titanium Man. I don't know.
Hey, there you go. To the Queen's chagrin, but
Oh, she doesn't like that song.
oh, she cannot stand this. That's not one of her favorites. No, it's
Sorry, Queen.
no. So we've had a running joke about that song ever since the first time she was on Two Legs
she was.
years ago.
Oh, I'm gonna have to message her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this was good. Thank you, Andy,
No.
for making this part of it happen. I know it was kind
Visual.
of a little
Yeah.
spotty, but
Yeah.
you guys can still watch it, real time, and or you can just do the audio and listen to us yap,
Yap
with
about
the
it.
audio, and
Yeah,
don't
this
worry
was the
about
first time we tried. This is our first attempt of doing like a let's watch it and comment. I know Tom and
correct.
David years ago did a thing with Broad Street where they
Yeah,
kind of
that was just commentary.
it was
Yeah,
just commentary while the film played though too.
right.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right. No,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah. So this was a first venture for us. We'll probably if it looks okay, we'll end up doing this again. I'm sure with another visual thing with McCartney. I don't know what, but we'll figure something out.
great. Yeah, that's awesome. So a lot of great things to come in the future. So looking forward to it. Now, next, I believe we've got Jerry Morata next for
Yes.
up
Yes.
here. So the great drummer here who worked with Peter Gabriel, Orleans, worked as the drummer for the Press to Play sessions. So that was going to get some good information, hopefully, there about Press to Play. And, not that we want to get any dirt, but we like to get some information,
Yes,
you
we
know,
would. Yes, we would.
some great insight from him. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, Andy, anything you want to add before we sign off?
Keep smiling, as Linda always says.
You smile. I like it. I like it. So, actually, you know what we saw today? We got the email that we are now officially on Pandora. So,
Right, which
another place you can find us.
I thought we were, but I guess we weren't. But now we are.
Okay. Yeah. So we got the email. We're officially on Pandora, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean. We are all over the place. So if you can't find us, you're not trying. YouTube, please check out our YouTube channel. Like I said earlier in the show, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. We're really trying to build up our YouTube channel. So check us out there. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Two Legs Podcast, and you can email us at twolegspodcast@gmail.com. So everybody, once again, thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking all that stuff. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate you. Please keep those comments coming. So as always, everybody out there, have a great day and a beautiful night. Take care.
Gobble gobble.
Listening to Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast, hosted by Tom Hunyadi and Andy Nichols, with musical contributions by Dylan